Thanks, Tom, and thank you for the rest of the department and the university as a whole for having me. You forgive me if I appear nervous because I don't do a lot of public speaking. I did when I was in school, but I haven't done so for quite some time since I had my job. And they asked me to do 15 to 20 minutes, and that really seemed far too long. I don't think that you want to hear me talk for that long, and I don't want to either. So to start, and forgive my sloppy notes, I was asked to do this, how long, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, maybe even last semester, and I spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to talk about. My first idea was something sort of philosophical, you know, the making a difference, being part of a bigger picture, you're a piece of a puzzle kind of thing, but I felt like you get that all the time. You get that in other keynote addresses, you get that in your classroom, you get that when you go to your meetings with your academic advisor. It's redundant. It's something that you hear all the time and something that you all really know. So I thought maybe I'd talk about tips, because I only graduated from Villanova 2 years ago. I've only been in my job for about 1.5 years, so I thought maybe I'd be more pragmatic. Maybe I would say, this is how to get your foot in the door into the research world. This is how to go about the interview. These are the types of skills that you want to cultivate while you're in school in order to market yourself to nonprofit researchers, research institutions, graduate school, maybe even the for-profit world. But then I thought, it seems a little dry, not that riveting. That's something you can get one sheet with bullet points, and anybody could tell you that easily. So I want to talk about something a little more personal. Maybe not about me, maybe not about you, but really about all of us. And to start, I want to talk about a thought that I have all the time, and I'm sure it's something you have now, is that when I go to events like this and I see a keynote speaker and I'm sitting where you all are in the audience, I think, what makes them so special? Why are they up there and I'm here? What gives them the privilege to stand up there and pontificate to me about my work, and I'm almost required to be inspired by that person? Seems a little bit odd, doesn't it? Anybody else think that's a little weird? Right? Who has that feeling? And who has that question in their head now? Right? Professors? Same? Dr. Jones?
Certainly.
And I'm not trying to be modest by saying this, but I truly believe that there's nothing particularly special about me. And I think that the one thing that brings me up here today in front of all of you, and that I suppose earned me the respect of my professors, is that there's one thing that we all share. There's one thing that we all have in common, and one reason that we are really all in this field, and why you all chose the major that you're in. What are the majors we have here today? Crim? I'm Crim, okay. Sociology? What do we got? Econ? Anyone from Econ? No? Anthro? Okay. What else do we have?
Biology.
Biology, okay. Anyone?
Environmental science.
Environmental science. Anyone else?
Psychology.
Psychology. Cool. Anything else?
Political science.
Political science. I think the one thing that binds all of us together and why we're interested, particularly in research, is that we are all curious. We all have this unbounded curiosity that's mixed with skepticism, and that's the key part. Unbounded curiosity mixed with skepticism. Now, I'm sure when all of you go home and you see your extended family, they'll ask you, why did you pick the major that you're in? A lot of you have sort of a selfless civic duty, a responsibility to be in the field, more of the make a difference kind of person. And then some of you are sort of, I just kind of like it. Something I'm interested in. It's cool. I don't know. I like going to class. The assignments, they make my gears tick. And if you're not in one of those extremes, you're certainly somewhere in between. But I think that's what is behind all of this is this unbounded curiosity mixed with skepticism. something that brings us all together, that no matter what you may tell someone about why you love the work that you're doing, really at your core is because you seek the truth. You have a longing to strip away the trappings and veils of misdirection until all that's left is the facts. And that's not to overly romanticize research, social science, and the natural sciences. It's simply the nature of what we do. Now, I'm a little more cynical than the average person. I see the world as really an imperfect place filled with imperfect people who have an unfortunate tendency to exclude, to ignore, to forget information, to embellish that information, and when it comes down to it, ultimately to lie and to deceive. That might be too dark for some people, but certainly we can all agree that there's a tremendous amount of misinformation out there, am I right? There's a tremendous amount of misinformation, or perhaps even worse, a complete lack of information in a certain area. And that irritates us, that grinds us to our core. It's something that bothers us constantly, that there is a piece of information out there that is so universally accepted that we know is not true. We may not know what the truth is, but we have the longing to find what the truth is. To that end, I believe that the work that we do, the work that, as many of you young people have started, and for those of us in the room with more illustrious careers have been doing for so long, you and I, we are the foil to our world's unfortunate circumstances. We are the foil to that. Strip away the trappings of misdirection. You strip away the trappings of no information, pulling out only the truth until all that's left is what is true, and what is not is pushed away. And this is not political. I'm not here to tell you that you have to have a fervent belief in a political or social cause. I have my beliefs, I have my tendencies, but I don't think that's requisite to excel in the field. This is also not philosophical. I'm not a huge believer either way in the whole idea of you're a person who can make a difference. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I certainly have not had long enough of a career to have a strong opinion about that. It's not political, it's not philosophical, and it's certainly not pragmatic. It's personal. It's really who you are at your core. Like I said, unbounded curiosity, which we all have, we're all people, but the thing that makes us all special is that, and the thing that bounds us all together is the skepticism, is to know that there's more to be known. We are skeptical, we are skeptics who are skeptical of skeptics. Cynics who are cynical of cynics. And critics who are critical of critics. And it's really who we are, it's really what drives us. I'm not here to tell you why you should be interested in the field. I'm not here to guess what brought you into this, and I'm not here to predict what's going to keep you here. I simply want to share with you how I've come to this realization of what makes us all unique and what binds us all together at the same time. It's not political, it's not philosophical, it's not pragmatic, it is who you are. And where you go from there, I leave to you. Thank you very much.